Welcome to part 5 of lesson 3, the decision-making lesson. Man, this lesson is going really, really long, but I think so far it's probably one of the most important lessons that we've discussed. Decision-making is something that happens not just when we are managing our money, but it happens every day. We make decisions all the time. So I really want to take the time that we need to in order to make sure that we understand the decision-making process and how we can make it efficient and effective. So we left off with the scenario of having to decide on what type of car to purchase. And we looked at the decision-making guide, and we so far have gone through the decision-making process. We've created a SMART goal. Now remember, this is a SMART goal that you created. It doesn't have to be a real reason. But everything that we decide from here on out is based on this goal. So what is the purpose of our vehicle purchase? Is it a car for work to get to and from work? Or maybe it's a utility vehicle for construction workers. You know, they might need a truck. Or maybe it's because you have a family of 4 and your current car is too small for everybody. So we created a goal. Then we established some criteria based on that goal. I went through the criteria for my personal needs and what I used when I purchased my car last year. And then I gave you 3 websites that you could find cars on and decide what would be 3 really good options based on the criteria and the goal that you have set for yourself. If you have not done this step, this is what you should do right now. Pause this video until you have chosen 2 or 3 good options. So now you've hopefully chosen 2 or 3 good options for your cars, remembering that if the car does not have your must-haves, then it's probably not a good option for you. The next thing to do is to identify the pros and cons. Looking at your 3 options that best meet the criteria for your car, you probably have a long list of options, and you might want to kind of make a chart to compare each option and figure out what's good or bad. But for each car, there is a pro row and there is a con row. So I want you to list out what some pros and some cons of the cars that you've chosen might be. A pro might be low gas mileage, or a low price, or low mileage on the car if you're choosing a used car. Even an extended warranty would be a really good pro. Cons might be that they don't have all the criteria that you want, even those nice to have. So like, I would love to have heated seats. If one of the cars has heated seats and the other one doesn't, that could go on the cons list. If you are looking at used cars and the car has been in an accident, that is a huge con. So think about the cars that you are looking at purchasing, the 3 cars that you've selected, and identify the pros and cons. Go ahead and pause this video and do that right now. Okay, we've looked at the pros and cons. Step 5 is to decide what's best. Looking at all the information that you've compiled, what would be your number 1 choice? What best matches your established criteria? Does it match the price point that you have? Is it automatic or is it manual? What did you decide? Is this a new or a used car? Looking at your pros and cons, which ones do the pros outweigh the cons? That will help you best decide what car to purchase for yourself. So look again through all that information, pause this video, and decide what is the best car. Also, tell me why it's the best car for you. And lastly, evaluate your results. In this section, tell what you do and you don't like about your choice. Well, you purchased this car and you love this about it, but this isn't the greatest. For instance, I purchased my Toyota Prius. I love the amount of the gas mileage in my car. I can go really far on a few gallons of gas. What I don't like is how low my car is to the ground. It's extremely low. It's only 6 inches off the ground, so oftentimes my front bumper scrapes the ground when I'm about to park, and there's like parking stops there. I hit a raccoon this summer and did a lot of damage because my car wasn't tall enough to go over the raccoon. Instead, the raccoon, like, it destroyed the front of my car, so I had to get a lot of body work done on it. So those are some pros and cons for my car. So I want you to tell me, what's good and what's bad about the car that you're purchasing. And that is it. After going through this decision-making process, I mean, you could now successfully purchase your very own car. Now, you have to have money for that car, but you know what it takes. There's a lot more than just saying, ooh, this car's red and it's pretty. There's more than just looking at color and everything. But understanding the decision-making process really can help you along the lines later. In fact, now that you really understand the decision-making process, it's your turn. I'm going to have you apply the decide process to decide the best option for a large purchase that you're going to be planning in the next 6 months. So let's stop and think about this for a second. A large purchase is anything over $100. What are some things that you are considering purchasing in the next 6 months? So that is between now and the time that school lets out. What are some major purchases that you might have to think about? For me personally, I am moving, so I am going to be making some major decisions on my new housing. Am I going to rent, or am I going to purchase a house, and what type of house or what type of apartment am I looking for? What about you? What are some things that you're going to purchase? Think about that, and you are going to go through the decide process one more time. This is a challenge activity that we're going to be adding to your portfolio. So you should have a page that looks like this in your notebook. It says challenge 1/B, my decision. At the top it says this is what's going in your portfolio. The directions say that we want you to apply what you've learned about the decision-making process to complete this challenge. So you're going to use this format. Now, if you can't fit everything on here, that's fine. You can do this on a separate sheet of paper. But use the information that we've talked about during this lesson to take into consideration the steps that you would take when you're making a big purchase. Okay, so this is what you're going to be filling out. Define your goal, use those SMART goals, establish your criteria, choose 3 good options, tell me the pros and cons of those options, decide which of these is best, and then evaluate your results. What I'm going to be looking at is the next page. So I will be taking care of this. This is a rubric, but this is everything that I am going to be grading. Does it give a goal? Does this involve a major financial decision, $100 or more? Do you show how everything relates together? So we're not just picking something random. We're not just looking at random options. Your options that you choose and you research actually fit into your goal. I am looking for at least 6 criteria for an acceptable outcome. So when you're looking at the criteria, what must it be? 6 criteria here. That's what I'm looking for. Give me a summary. All right, so you can read through this and see exactly what it is that I will be grading you on. You will get a score for this. I'll have some feedback for you as well, and we can revise and edit this as necessary. If you have questions, please let your instructor know. They'll be happy to help you as well. When you are finished with your challenge, that will be the end of your lesson. Now, I want you to know that even though we're using this decision process to make decisions about money, we can use these steps anytime. You could use the decision-making process when you're deciding on which classes to take, or when you're choosing a summer job. Even when you're dealing with relationships, this decision-making process can come in handy. Maybe if you're choosing which school or community activities you'd like to be a part of, you can use this. For some really big purchasing items, here's some items that you might use this for as well. If you need to find a better job, you might use this. If you're going to move, or if you're going to make a big purchase on a home or a car, or maybe even an appliance. If you're going to go on a vacation, you could use the decision-making process. Maybe you have to research daycare options for some kids, or you have some major medical spending decisions that you have to make, like getting glasses or contacts, or maybe you have to get braces, or you have to get surgery. You could use this decision-making process. As well, we've looked at purchasing a cell phone plan, purchasing a cell phone, or even getting a pet. These are all different areas where you can use this process. So thank you for listening in. We will look next time at lesson number 4, which is all about how to create a spending plan. So if you are finished with this, go ahead and look for lesson 4. You can get started on that lesson as well.